Hey, what's up everyone? AJ Rice Crypto here. I am here with no other than the founder of VeChain, Sonny. How are you doing today? Thanks so much for being here.
I'm doing fine. Thank you, AJ. That's, great time. Great Wednesday in Miami, and we're going to have a UFC fight tonight.
Yep.
So, yeah, very good time.
Yeah, awesome. So, I want to ask, VeChain's been around for a long time, but before that, what got you into crypto?
Well, that was a long time ago. I think I just passed my 10th year's anniversary. And I think the first time I learned about Bitcoin, it's when I was playing a game like World of Warcraft. Somebody offered you can use Bitcoin to buy some gold in the game, and I was like, what was that? Right? So, but after that, I start to study about it and read about the white paper. Having going to BitcoinTalk.org, the BBS, the BBS. I think it's really like ancient time word, and talking to the different people, and also my work, like my last work in Louis Vuitton, actually really give me kind of the benefits. I traveling around the world, so every city I went, I just try to look for is there any Bitcoin meetup or any crypto meetup. So yeah, that's how I get started.
That's awesome. Personally, more of a StarCraft guy. Myself,
Well, at least the same Blizzard games, right?
Yeah, Blizzard Games for sure. Shout out to Blizzard Games. We love that. So, with VeChain, very interesting coin in crypto. Because, in crypto, I've seen it all in terms of marketing strategies, pushes in crypto in general.
Right.
And with VeChain, you could have aimed your marketing budget at anything. It could have been, baseball, football, soccer, any demographic you wanted. Mm-hmm. Specifically, I want to know why did you aim at the UFC? I love it, but why did you aim at the UFC?
Well, I think let's say the UFC team has made a very good sales pitch about that. But I do like the numbers, to be honest. I'm a huge football fan. I play football like once in 2 weeks, something like that, when I not traveling for sure. But UFC, firstly, it's a fast-growing sports across the whole globe. And also they have a similar strategy, like, from the United States and then extended to European markets. And starting from the first year we signed, and they start to entering the Asian market as well. Now, they have 2 fights in Singapore. And also, I would say the user base, user profile of UFC is pretty aligning with the crypto fans as well. So I think it's a wise investment, let's say, budget allocation.
No, I completely see it. I feel like they're both fast evolving spaces and they could grow together. I completely see the angle there. That makes sense.
And also on top of the marketing or visibility, for sure, it's massive global visibility, right? But also we put UFC in a very good use, is to use that as a community engagement tool. And the good part of UFC is they have 42 fights every year. And you can basically organize, we call it a VFan mixer, like almost every week. So we're able to engage with the community and share our roadmap, share the information, and also they can give us the feedback, direct feedback. And then, that's I think that's any Web3 platform should be, right? It's about the user-centric. It's about like how to be close to the people. So yeah, I love that.
So I must ask, the fight is tonight. We're all going to the fight tonight.
Yeah.
Do you have a pick for the fight tonight? Who do you got?
Well, we have our ambassador fighting tonight, Burns.
Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put up a good fight against Khamzat Chimaev not long. He did lose the fight, but I thought he won the fight. It was he was the only person to take Khamzat Chimaev to decision, which was, I think he's going to come back strong tonight.
Well, with a VFan fan support, right? He must win.
He must win. I completely agree. So I got into VeChain, probably back in 2018, 2019, and at the time, a large focus of VeChain was the supply chain solution.
Right.
Is that still a focus at VeChain?
Well, I would say it's still on, and since 2021, we start to work on the next generation of blockchain applications, right? Or we call it next generation for enterprise blockchain applications. And we identify the direction is about sustainability. It's not actually a change or shift from the original focus. Actually, never stay away from our original cause, which is bridging the technology to the business world or to create the real business value. Yeah. And supply chain was, let's say, a first step as a low-hanging fruit to enterprise adoptions. Actually, I remember one of the AMA space, somebody, I think either Scott Melker or Mary Naffel, he was mentioning about like, you use that as a Trojan horse to be engaged with enterprise, adopt the enterprise, right? Because a supply chain solution, it's more easier for enterprise people to understand that and also onboard their business to the blockchain. Plus, at that time, there was no there was no profound regulation about the crypto, about the token. So for most of the enterprise, like, okay, if we want to do something about the blockchain, the supply chain is the first pick, right? But I believe the blockchain applications should have a token in play, because the token will be acting as a value connector between the platform of the enterprise or company with the individual users. That's actually a most fundamental missing puzzle for the entire blockchain applications, I would say, to enterprise. So we analyze that. Sustainability is also the direction to go, and it's the right thing to do, by the way. And then we upgrading the strategy from the normal enterprise blockchain applications to sustainability areas.
That's literally my next question was like, without getting into VBetter, which we are going to talk about in a moment, I wanted to know what was the inception behind the shift of focus to sustainability.
Let's say firstly, like I said, sustainability is the right thing to do,
of course,
right? And also it's not just let's say one project or anyone, like someone's responsibility. It should be a mission for everyone. It's quite an inclusive and open space, and it requires everyone's effort, to join together. It's not just one company's project, one government's initiative, right? It should be everyone's mission. And actually, back to the supply chain topic, supply chain application will act as the most, like the first step, like a pre-step, before even for most of the enterprise going to the Web3 world. Given a very concrete example, if you have a sustainable products you want to launch to the market, right? You want to access those people who believe in that, who wants to support that, and even play their role to buy and also to use the sustainable products. And you gotta show your product information, including the supply chain tracks, where it come from, what kind of the raw materials, and how many steps they have been through. And those are actually a typical supply chain application we have done for Walmart, for H&M, PwC, DMV, for all of those, let's say, enterprise. So it will be acting as a first step, but it needs to upgrade, it needs to be going to the next level, to engage more with Web3 users, individual users, with a token in play. So that's the idea.
I feel like some people might overlook how heavily VeChain is integrated into so many very, very large companies at that level for the supply chain. It's crazy when you look at the list, how many names are on that list. I don't think people realize that sometimes.
Well, let's say enterprise adoption never be easy.
Yeah.
Never be easy. Especially back to the early days, lack of the regulations and also the name about the crypto in the market, due to those unfortunate events, Luna, FTX, those kind of things, it kind of changed people's mindset or perspective. When they think about a crypto, they think about the bad things, right? So it's honestly, it's not easy. But this year is going to be a new era, with the ETF approved in January, and we all see how the market has been reacting, right? Oh, yeah. But also, I think people might overlook a very significant meaning of the ETF approval is actually kind of opened up the door, opened up to the whole world. You know, it's no more just a crypto or trading assets. It's actually could be opened up to the whole world, to the mainstream. Like everybody should look at the blockchain technology, look at the crypto in a positive way, because eventually, just like the internet, it's a tool, it's a technology, right? Putting the right hand in the good use is you know, is more important than the name itself, I would say.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It is, you know, funny when a lot of like negative press, you know, FUD news about like FTX, and it's like when some like normal people that don't follow the industry like we do think of crypto, they think like, oh, like didn't that one thing happen? Isn't it this big scary thing? When in reality, like this is, like you said, a tool that's going to better the world as time. I feel like everything eventually there will be a seismic shift over the next, you know, 20, 30 years to probably less than that, to everything. You know, I always make the analogy, think of like the evolution of music from 8 tracks to cassette tapes to CDs to iPods to streaming. It's happening with money right now.
Yeah, well, think about that. Actually, I think it's a good sign for blockchain. Internet went through the same similar stages, right? In the early stage of internet, people don't understand that. People even criticizing, oh, internet is supporting terrorist attack or supporting drug dealing.
That's what they're saying about crypto right now.
Exactly, right? So that's why I've been more confident or more, you know, having a more strong face about a crypto. Look at what the internet now, you know, how internet changed our lives and how big about the business of the entire internet. So I think crypto is gonna go through the same thing.
Yeah, 100%. So, you know, so I want to pivot, and I really want to ask, you know, now that it's announced, the wheels are rolling here, what is your vision with VeBetterDAO? And you know, where do you see it taking VeChain? Like how is, this is the rocket ship in my opinion. Like how are you putting gas in it? How is it going? How are we launching it off?
Okay, so firstly, I want to share my a personal story about it.
Sure.
You know, since 2020 or even before that, you know, out of a couple of sustainability use cases we built with different enterprise, like, you know, recycled material for H&M, carbon credits and battery management for BYD, and we start to think about like, you know, that should be a promising direction for the next level, right? And then I start to spend some time in sustainability areas and, you know, look at the different narratives, ESG, SDG, all of that stuff. And I find it very interesting, you know, phenomena or like situation is when I ask a friend or ask my family or people I just met, you know, like, will you do anything about sustainability, right? You know, I normally kind of expecting, yeah, we should do it. Like this is, you know, for humankind. That is for our next generation, for our kids, right? Which is true. But most of the people give me the reflection is, okay, so Sonny, how much money do you need? I was like, why? I didn't ask for that, right? But actually, it's quite common. You know, people when they think about sustainability, or you know, any kind of the protection or good things, they kind of feel like I have to pay extra. And now I moved to Milan for a couple of years in Italy, and I choose the most sustainable or greener level of my electricity, right? And I pay extra.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's quite common, right? And I feel it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. You're doing the good things. You're doing for the entire planet, for your kids, for the next generations. Why should I pay extra? And I should get rewarded.
Yeah.
So that's something we really want to change. We wanted to make sure everyone, you know, you can do good things and you should get rewards. And actually, I believe there are millions of people, even billions of people out there are willing to do that, even without rewards. I give you an example. Last November in Torino, we did a simple challenge with our partner A-Word. They're focused on the sustainability applications for enterprises. And we organized a challenge like bring your positive behavior, record your positive behavior from your daily life, and you can be rewarded as NFT. Okay, just prove like you are participating this kind of campaigns or challenges, right? And just less than 2 months, and we end up with 2,400 people participated, and they logged 450,000 actions, and resulted in saving 3 million liters of water. 3 million liters of CO2 equals like 1,000 long-haul flights, and 9 million gallons of water has been saved.
Wow.
So that kind of result is just, it's amazing. You feel like you as a normal people, you do a small fractional effort on a daily basis, and you don't feel the difference, right? But actually, those are small fractional value could be a very big in an accumulated way and also in a collective way.
And that's why it should be people should be incentivized to make that small difference.
Exactly. So what the VeBetterDAO is doing a very simple thing to enable people. You do a good thing, you log it, and you get rewards. And you try to incentivize and motivate all of the others, your friends, your neighbors, your families, join us together, right? And to do a collective and a cumulative, and the value is gonna be huge. I trust, I assure you, the value is gonna be impressive.
I mean, I'm here for it for sure, but I want to learn a little bit more. I mean, the VBetter has kind of just announced the past month or two. It hasn't been long since VBetter has been
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I thought it was a little bit longer than that. So 2 weeks ago, VBetter was announced. I'm sure you can't give us the whole thing now, but any insight on the roadmap coming with VBetterDAO?
Basically we do, let's say three things. The first thing is quite a fundamental. It's like you gotta keep iteration about the platform, about the different products, the tools, technology for sure. I believe this is the only way to keep rolling for any kind of, let's say, Web3 or the blockchain platform. You just gotta keep iterating. And the beauty of the blockchain space is about open source, right? And you always can share what you do and also learning from the others. And you keep iterating, make a best platform, the most friendly interface, most secure security for users' assets, and also the governance in terms of DAO, that kind of the management. So you always can learning from each other and keep iterating. So we're gonna do the iterating for sure. And one of the challenges to my technical team in Dublin is you gotta maintain once 2 weeks, that kind of frequency to do the iterations. Whatever it's a new technology or new feature or new products, that's the way it is, right? And second thing is, second and third is more like we call it a snowball effect, or snowball campaign. We wanted to bring more people to participating into this VeBetterDAO, challenge, like how to do, let's say, make a little change in your daily life and creating a new value about it, and you get reward. So it could be very, very simple. And on the other side, we wanted to bring more, we called X2Earn applications. So you can let's say drive your EV, and you should get reward. You do a little bit recycle about your garbage, and you should get reward. You drink a coffee without the paper cup, right? You should get reward. So there are many, many ideas like how to record and reward people to do the positive things. It could start very small. And our tool like Voz and VWord just make everyone, even the individual builder, you can build the application, the app, like super easily. And then you can launch it on the VeBetterDAO to incentivize people to do the right thing, right? So eventually, like I said, the snowball effect is we're gonna have more people, and then more external applications, and then we have more people again and more applications, and on top of these three directions, and the major focus in the short term is we're gonna launch the 4 hackathons in this year, starting from I think next week, March 15, 16. We're gonna have the first hackathon in 2024 in London, and to acquire more and more young startups, talent people to try to build a different type of external applications. On the other side, we have very close collaboration with BCG, Boston Consulting Group, aiming for enterprise adoptions. But this time, enterprise adoption is no more just will be much more not only just about the supply chain application, but let's say bring the use case from enterprises and into the VBetterDAO as well, and let them to be kind of like the higher level, or not high level, like more sophisticated X2 applications for the users as well. So it's just bigger scale, different scale, and different people. For most of the Web2 companies, their users are not crypto users. So a bit the challenge to us, like how to build up the tools or infrastructure to adopting the non-crypto people as well. That's the trick. Yeah, that's the trick. But we got the best partner in the world. BCG are able to align with us and go to the market together.
Yeah, awesome. So with the VBetterDAO, you're introducing the tokens Better and Vote. And this is kind of a two-pronged question. The first prong of that question is, tell me more about, Better and Vote and like how they're used in the DAO itself. And secondly, with VeChain, VeChain is already a two-coin project with VeChain and VeThor. Are you worried that with this many tokens that people would get confused? And how do we kind of break that down to them in a digestible way?
All right, okay. So the first question is actually quite simple and straightforward. Better acting as incentive token. So basically, the Better token will be allocated to each X2 applications based on people's voting. So you can decide, you can vote for like, I like this application, I like that application, or this application may be not so solid and governance. Governance, right? So people decide the new minted Better token goes to which X2 application. You make a choice, and there is no pre-mint. It's like 100% fair launch. Everybody starting from scratch, at the equals fair level to go for that. So it's 100% a DAO, I would say, and then the X2 application will, let's say, responsible for log people's positive behaviors and decides how much token I wanted to incentivize you. So I would consider it's kind of a market choice, right? It's a market choice. So in summary, Better is incentivized token for that, okay? And for sure, there is another job on the backstage, I will call it the backstage, is to create the utility of the Better. So we're gonna work with our partners together to create the utility of the Better, to conduct the value from the real business into the Better token. I got that kind of the question or even challenge all the time, but simply answer is, think about the entire sustainability areas, right, or industries. And one of the BCG report to show by 2030 there will be $26 trillion in the sustainability areas, and the majority of that big number of money will be linked to the reproduction phase of anything, like your shoes, your clothes, even your computer stuff, your transportation way. Anything in the current business will be rechanged, will be, let's say, renovated to be more sustainable way. That's how the system works, right? So just think about that. Even we take like 0.1% or 1%. From that kind of big GDP, how much value of this, right? Well, for sure it takes time, but that's we should let's say that's our goal. We work with BCG, we work with the other partners, and get into the direction to bring more enterprise in, focus on the utility of the Better, and eventually everyone as a token holder will share the value. That's how Web3 should working as, right? So that's the first question. And second question, I would say you're right. It's a bit complex. Even just a few, let's say we just launched for 2 weeks, and people still have loads of the questions, and we have actually quite a iterative way to do our job is to generate more contents, training materials, AMAs, Q&As, to let people to get to know about it. It is complex a bit, but I think it's given the time we're gonna get there. So Better, like I said, is as an incentive token, and Vote actually is the same as Better because you can do one-on-one swap, right? It just you choose like, oh, I wanted to keep the incentive. I even wanted to use that to buy some stuff or cash out, whatever you do. Or you can choose I swap the Better to be Vote, one-to-one Vote, and I use the second type of token we call VOT3, another Web3 style, right? We use the Vote token to decide the better allocations, even for the general governance, whatever. So the Vote token, firstly, it's not going to have a new token. It's in terms of supply, it's actually the same thing, right? You stake the Better, you get Vote, or you redeem Vote, you get Better back. So it's in terms of supply, it's actually one thing, but they serve a different purpose. One for incentive, one for governance. And original 2 token VET is basically a native layer 1 token, like every other layer 1 blockchains. And the VSO is just a kind of a, let's say, gas tokens, which actually we designed to address the issue about, we wanted to address the gas fee issues. Like most of, I saw these days actually people are complaining about the Ethereum again, like $100 transaction fees is
it never
insane.
Ends with Ethereum.
Yeah,
Never
it never ends. So it's honestly I would consider as a typical paradox. More people do use it, and token price getting higher, and then the gas fees or the transaction cost getting higher as well. So we, by design, we wanted to separate that and, to serve for the different purpose. Eventually, I think it's about, to, again, the fundamental, the ultimate goal is still to bring more applications onto the blockchain and more utilities, more value are being created, then more transactions can be created. And then there will have a market supply and demand to decide the balance of the gas fee tokens, right? So yeah, I agree with you. It's a bit complex, but that means that's our job. We got to continue to roll it out. I also wanted to share with you, let's say a story I learned, or my learning, my thinking process. Recently, I read about, I watched a video footage by Elon Musk. Okay. He said we need to copy from WeChat, the Chinese social apps. You can search about the YouTube. He say that. Actually, he mean that. You can see the Twitter has new features come out, right? Yeah. The video Twitter space and making a phone calls, even the video calls later on. Actually, that's he has been doing. But when WeChat started, I think it's more than 15 years ago, you only can do one thing, is text for free.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
It's hard to imagine, right?
Wow.
So you do like text for free, and then you can start to have voice messages, you can start to have calls, video calls, and today you can buy insurance on that platform. You can pay your utility bills. Wow. You can sell your cars, whatever. Wow. So it's become huge, right? So that's the process. I mean, in terms of the complexity, I would say we're following this kind of iteration way. We starting from simple. You launch numbers of applications to, let's say, just get people to start it, and then the best part of the design is it's going to be on a weekly basis, so you can do every week. And then, people will get to know more about it and start to, let's say, be more familiar and are able to embrace new, more features. Yeah. But eventually, I think all of our design is out there, for gamification, for tokenomics, to engage and motivate people to join together, to build the DAO ecosystem together, and eventually to serve the purpose, bring everyone in to do the right thing and get rewards. That's it.
That's it. Well, that does kind of tie into my next question. Say Imagine a world where everything with VeBetterDAO perfectly goes to plan. Where do you see VeChain in 5 years? Without talking about price, just in general.
I would say it's, let's say, I would imagine like we have billions of people, let's say living this platform. I'm calling living in this platform. You live in you do different activities or actions on your daily basis, and that system, along with thousands of external applications, kind of help you to make the better choice in each day. Like you try to use as little water as you can do, or you try to choose the sustainable products other than consuming the new resources, or you taking the bus or metro, other than driving your own car, something like that, right? So I would picture VeChain, VeBetterDAO is serving as the platform. Even people may not know about the name anymore. They may just feel like that's my life. I changed life based on that, and also, let's say millions of people are get rewards every week from that, and to motivate them to make a better choice every day. That's what I'm working for. Let's say.
I mean, the way I see it is we only get one Earth. We only have this one Earth that we're on, so we might as well do everything we can. I mean, out of all the pushes, incentives that I've seen in blockchain, I feel like it's probably the most noble one I've seen.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Sonny, thank you so much for your time. I'm so grateful.
Yeah,
Have a great rest of your day, and let's go watch the fight, huh?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Perfect.